All right, drone video for a gorgeous 20-acre tract. Got a little tree house or deer stand there. The back wall toward the bottom looks like it kind of collapsed in a little bit, but that thing had been recently used, so it might just need a little bit of repair. We're in the meadow area toward the west side of the property. This is an early spring video, so some of the leaves are out on the trees, some are not. Most are not, actually. Big open meadow. The meadow is going to be the highest spot on the property, and it slopes down as you go east and west from the meadow area. Little red side-by-side on the property, that's us. Super private tract at the Jesse James project. You do want your four-wheeler or your side-by-side to get to this one. Okay, so we're looking northerly at the property. As we look to the right, which would be east, oh, there we go. So you can see the open meadow area. The dashed line is the easement road, or the easement trail, I guess, that you take to get to the property itself. Probably 80% wooded, about 20% open meadow, roughly. Again, we're in the meadow. We're going to do a flyover. I believe we go check out the east side a little bit. The topo map actually shows a small creek bed crossing over the east side, so I don't know. There we go. The blue line on toward the east side is the creek bed. Well, certainly not a year-round creek because we didn't see any water when we were out there, although kind of hard to tell with the drone video, but I guess we'll see. Haven't seen the whole drone video myself, so we'll see what we can see, but it's the highest in the meadow, slopes down from there. Let's have a look at this property. Since this is an early spring video, we can actually see the ground, so we can tell already that there hasn't been any recent logging other than to expand that meadow, which someone did a couple years ago. Someone put many $1,000s into that meadow to clear that up. It's funny, when you look to the left and the right where the land slopes down, those trees have basically no leaves. Well, it's cooler in those lower areas in the evenings and in the mornings, so they take longer to leaf out. But if you look at all the little white splotches, those are dogwood trees, so those are generally the first to leaf out. You see the dogwoods and the redbuds, and then the hardwood trees start to get their leaves. So this is pure Ozarks, ups and downs and everything. If you look at the higher up level areas, you see a lot more leaves, and then down in the valleys, far fewer. That's Mill Creek toward the bottom, which you cross over to get to the property. And now we're coming back around. We're looking basically northerly now at the property. The meadow is toward a little bit west of center, I guess. And the bulk of that meadow, everything we're seeing now is right on the property. It hasn't been mowed, or portions of it haven't been mowed for a couple years, it looks like. Thousands of mature hardwood trees on this property. Most of them don't have their leaves yet because it is early springtime. But you'll have red oak, you'll have white oak, you'll have hickory and walnut, just all types of hardwood trees, and some softwoods too. There'll definitely be some cedar trees, probably a couple pines, although there just aren't very many pine trees in this part of the Ozarks. So now we're more toward the east side of the property, and I would assume that whoever was doing the drone video is trying to locate that little creek bed that you could see on the topo map. And that can be hard to do from the air. This area is well known for caves. In fact, there are two large caves within about a half a mile of this property. And in fact, one or both of those caves might extend deep within the ground underneath this property. I'd have to look at the maps to see for sure, but really cool area for caves, for wildlife, for all that good stuff. The deer and turkey population out here is phenomenal. The privacy factor is amazing. We're in northeastern Pulaski County, that might be the creek bed right there. I can't tell. Running diagonally through the center of the video, maybe. Does that look like a gravel creek bed to anybody else? I think it is. You'd almost have to go check it out on foot to know for sure, but that does look like a gravel creek bed down there. And on a big track like this, with that creek bed crossing directly over, I mean, there is no telling the cool stuff you might find as far as rock formations or springs or, like I said, caves. This exact particular area within, you know, a half mile of this property has a major track record for caves. So this would be a really cool property to spend some time and explore and see what you can find. There certainly is timber value on here after the property's been paid for in full. You could log it. At that point, you could use the trees to build a log cabin, which would be awesome. We've had a couple people do that with spectacular results. Or I see some people get those little sawmills, and you can use the timber to mill it into lumber and do that. But a log cabin would sure be cool. Big meadow area on the property, obviously. And you're going to have deer and turkey all over this tract. They love to kind of go from the timber to the meadow and back again. Beautiful property. Great size, great privacy factor. Hunting and recreation is out of this world. If you buy the property and you want a summertime video, we'll be happy to do that if the guys are out there. That's no problem at all. This is kind of seeing the property, not at its worst because we got a few leaves, but it's an overcast day and only about 20 or 30% of the leaves are out. So this property on a beautiful blue Ozark summer day would just be breathtaking. A lot of options on this one with that large meadow. Ooh, getting close to the trees. Yep, got to get a little higher there. Great tract. Check out the full listing page to see some other maps and some info and an interactive map, I'm sure. And then if you have any questions, send us an email or give us a call. There's the map again.